Welcome to You Should Be Watching. Today, I'm the host, Mason, with the co-host, Trip.
What's up?
And I think you should be watching There Will Be Blood.
And I do too.
This movie is about a guy named Daniel, who is played by Daniel Day-Lewis. And it's basically just, he is a prospector in America, probably moved from England. Maybe he's been there.
I think he's been there.
Maybe. I feel like he has a British accent, kind of.
Really?
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's like an
true.
old-timey accent I just think is British. But
Maybe.
He starts prospecting for oil. He gets oil. And then this whole movie is his life being in the oil industry when it was big, from 1889, I think is the beginning, up to like 1930. It's basically the last time it tells you the date. That's basically that's the time period of the movie. It's the big oil boom, and when it starts to die down a little bit, everybody's getting rich off of it, and it's just bringing it up. And that's basically the entire movie. This movie is just a good movie. It's a good character piece about this prospector.
A prospector that slowly falls into craziness.
Yeah, it's not a movie that has like crazy action scenes or crazy drama. It's just really good character piece, like Reservoir Dogs. Nothing really happens. It's just really good characters, really good atmosphere, talking.
Dialogue, everything's great.
Yeah, it's just everything's good in it. It just doesn't need to be anything besides the 2.5 hours, which is probably too long.
Yeah, it's a bit long. I was about to say that.
I mean, I like long movies, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but it's just like 20 minutes too long.
Yeah, easily 20 minutes too long. So, at the beginning of this movie, because there's nothing really to talk about any more than that, so just talk about some of the great things in the movie. I think one of my favorite things in this movie is the very beginning of the movie where there is no talking.
Yeah, just 14 minutes of silence, didn't you say?
Yeah, it's 14 minutes of nobody talking at all. It's like almost no sound coming from a human. It's just a guy in the desert.
And really intense, eerie music the whole time.
Yeah, it's got really good music the whole time. All the music throughout the entire movie is very atmospheric, tense, kind of.
You feel involved in that shit.
Yeah, and it keeps you really like you. This is a part of every time. It's like you gotta pay attention. Like something's about to go down. But the silent part, I always like whenever movies just have nothing. There's no talking. It's just silence, and you're just tensely paying attention to what is happening on screen. Because without someone explaining anything to you, you're just trying your hardest to figure out what's going on. And I feel like not enough movies do that. And it's like I always love it in movies. It's in this movie. It's great. It happened in The Force Awakens when they first showed Rey. Is my favorite part of the movie.
True.
The favorite section is her before she starts talking. And it also happens in the movie Sicario, which I watched recently, where there's just no talking, and you're just really watching everything like, okay, what's happening?
In the beginning of this movie, it's sort of like hard to understand what's going on. It's like, do I know these characters? Sometimes I'm like, do I know these people? Is this guy the same person?
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention. They don't mention character names. They do, but all the characters are just kind of guys. They're not. No one's really important besides the main character. There are plot point specific characters that are important for the plot, but nobody's like a main character. Everything is just look at Daniel and his life.
Yeah, like I'm looking on IMDb right now, and it shows Daniel Day-Lewis as Daniel Plainview, who's the main character. And then the next 4 credits, their character names are Silver Assay Worker.
Yeah, I have no clue what that means, and I even tried to figure out like who the people, like who was the son in the movie, who played, the church boy. But I couldn't really figure out who they were because I figured they'd be the top. I figured it'd be super easy, but they weren't. It just seems like every character is a side character to the main character, and even if they're super plot specific, it doesn't matter if you even know their name. It just doesn't matter.
Right.
But so you'd mentioned the music before. Music's great. But
Like really weird.
there are some moments where the music is really, really strange. And it's just like a bunch of wood blocks and metal things clanking together in a really ununified rhythm of junk. And it's not bad. It just,
It's eerie as fuck. In a weird way.
yeah, it's just really hectic, I guess, is what it is more like. Maybe that's what they were going for. It's just really hectic music. And I think it maybe feels too out of place. I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
would have been. I don't know if I would have greenlit that, but
Well, the way I see it is like a lot of times in this movie, it's like, okay, you're on an oil rig, a lot of shit blows up sometimes randomly. I think it's a lot like that. Like when they're not on the oil rig, that's when the crazy music usually sets in, and it's
Yeah.
usually when something weird's about to fucking happen. And then oh, boom, there it is, the fucking crazy music.
yeah, it's not again, not bad. It's just kind of weird music.
I mean, I really
choice.
like it
It's definitely unique. I've never heard that type of music in a movie, so
for sure.
I guess good on that. I would say second main character of the movie, secondary biggest character is the church boy, who was his name Eli. Is that his name?
Yes, very biblical name.
Yeah, that's true. Who
He's played by.
It's hard to find.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It's not even on here.
I'm telling you, they really weird on that whole. No one knows what these people are, but the church boy is basically he is on the land where the first oil is kind of set up, the first big oil thing, and he builds a church, and he's basically just a super over the top religious guy throughout the entire movie who's like a prophet of God, and he's speaking through people, and he's doing the whole
Taking your hand and I'm taking this demon out of you boys.
yeah, and he's screaming at the devil and casting shadows out of people. It's all that kind of crazy stuff, and he's really integral to the point of the movie. Kind of the point of the
our
movie.
character.
He's kind of the opposite of Daniel. He's like Daniel in this whole movie is kind of a loner, and this guy's like very like we got to have a church and unity and everybody's got to be together. And
Yeah, that guy was just fucking annoying.
he was annoying, but he was also like he's very much a villain in his annoyance. He's not just like an annoying guy you want to leave the movie. He's a villain because of how he acts. And so I thought he was really good.
He was really good. Like that guy, the first thing I ever saw him in was in Little Miss Sunshine, and he plays like a brother in that. He's fucking incredible. He's like probably one of the best characters. He's silent in that whole movie pretty much, like 3/4 of it at least. That movie's fucking incredible, and he's sort of like the character he played in this movie.
So he was basically typecast as a crazy religious
Well,
kid.
He wasn't religious in the last one. He was pretty goth and.
Oh, that doesn't sound like this at all. How
Well,
does he
he's
play
just-
the same
Just
character?
a weird character, just odd.
Look, fine. Okay. And then I don't know if there's much more to talk about, but the only thing I wanted to bring up was that I found it really interesting that they show a lot of how they got the oil in this movie. And I felt
Yeah,
like
it's
that
like
was
we could go do that, dude.
yeah, I felt like it was really interesting that they were like every way they would show of how they got the oil out of the ground. All I want to do is go look up, is this actually the way they got the oil out of the ground? Because that's kind of weird. Like that seems like I guess it just seems super barbaric way to get oil out of the ground.
Drop a
versus
big
the way we
spike
do
in the
now.
ground.
Yeah, because the way we do it now is like they drill a hole in the ground and then they're just like, yeah, we're pumping oil out. Like I guess you don't think about how they originally found the oil. They just have a pool of oil in a pit and they're just like sending buckets down to be filled up and they drag them back. Like I can't think of a better way to do it, but I just feel like that's a terrible way to do it.
I mean, yeah, like there's not much to say about that.
All this movie is one of those movies where you just got to go watch it. It's
So hard to explain.
yeah, it's like there's not. I don't think there's really a spoiler. Like you could spoil the movie really, and it wouldn't spoil the movie. It's just a good movie.
You just have to fucking watch it. Like I couldn't go to someone and be like, yeah, and then this happened, and you'd be doing that for 3 hours. This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and it's like, okay, just fucking watch it. There's so much shit that happens.
I guess there's twists. I guess there's spoilers, but it's a story about a guy. That's all there really is to it.
Yep.
And it's just a movie that's super good, really high quality movie.
Suspenseful as fuck.
Yeah, really suspenseful, really tense. I think just gotta, you should be watching it, you know?
Exactly, branding.
That's it. Signing off. See you next year.
Trip out.